Hi, this is Thalia MK at Money 2.0 Conference, Dubai Winter 2022, and I have with me Mr. George Matharu, who is a CEO for Elite Capital and Co Limited. And first of all, before we start, we would like to congratulate him for his amazing, outstanding organization award. Thank you so much for your presence and congratulations on your awards. Tell us about your company and about yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, and it's great to be at the conference. So first of all, our company is called Elite Capital and Co Limited. We're based in London. So we mainly do funding for government projects. So our main target clients would be governments, banks, or government projects. So that's our three markets. So in terms of the being here at the conference, we came to collect this award that we won, which was great, because we designed something called the Government Future Financing Programme 2030, which we've been working on for the last 2 years. And we basically only got the patent sorted out this year. And we first tested the product with a few different governments over the last couple of years. We ironed out some questions that they gave us. So we ironed those things out. So when we had it patented in London, we're now aggressively marketing that to about 4 different governments around the world. Can't say which ones because we haven't signed with them yet, but they're very interested and it's been very well received so far.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Before I ask you anything, when it comes to government, it's a very sensitive topic. Why? Because not all the governments are comfortable and asking anybody else's help or accepting anyone's help or funding as per your company. How do you deal and how do you make the government trust your brand? What is that go-to point of yours?
That's a great question, actually, and a lot of people ask us, how we even get to those government contacts in the first place, because these even big firms find it difficult to penetrate into those government sectors. So how we normally do it is by word of mouth, frankly. So the biggest government we started with some time ago, 5 or 6 years ago, was Egypt, and from Egypt we spread to Tunisia and Morocco. From there we spread to Jordan, there to Iraq. And so what it's been is organic growth, and it's been each government member then tying us into the next government member, and it's been growing since then.
So it's more like your work spoke for itself, and that's the reason you're here. That's beautiful. So when it comes to government, for example, I'm in the UAE, Dubai, and someone in Egypt. How do you make sure, as you do the funding, are you doing the funding across the countries, across the governments, or is it like you are the financer and then you are funding the government? Secondly, if it is across the governments, what if the two governments don't align together? And how do you deal with that situation?
Right, sure. So the good thing is all of our projects are completely separate. So we are working with the Dubai government, and in fact I have a meeting with them in about 40 minutes after this. Thank you very much. And we have had some meetings with them in the past as well, about the metro system, for example, and extending the network, and that was a $2.4 billion project. So we've been talking to them about that. There's each project in itself. We have to look at it, and we act as kind of a lead arranger. So we bring in funds that we sit on ourselves, and we bring in external funds, and we create a package. And that package always depends on what type of projects we have, and what country the government is in, because certain investors will only invest in certain countries. So we always have to be mindful of which money we're investing and which government we're investing in. But everything is totally separate, and we never discuss one government's business with another. And that way we keep ourselves impartial.
That is really important because governments, when it comes to government, nobody would want their private information given to someone else. So are there any confidential laws provided, like an NDA or something provided by your company, so you are satisfying the government, whoever you are dealing with? And as you received an award for outstanding organization, tell us, because it's a new company, it's just started, as you said, the new 2 years back, you started with a 2030 idea. If anybody who wants to walk at your path, walk at the same way you did, what is the one advice you'll give them?
Well, the one advice is perseverance, because actually we started the company nearly 10 years ago. And in the first couple of years, we had a lot of challenges because it was a new group that had come together, and a lot of lessons were learned. And we lost money, frankly, in the first couple of years. And so, at that point, it would have been very easy to stop and to go back to what we were doing before. But we persevered. We believed in our ideas. We believed in ourselves. Believed in our team. And we were able, to the last 3 or 4 years to get to a stage where we funded many different projects with, won different awards over the years. Recently in August, I was in the Forbes magazine in India. So, a lot of these things, a lot of accolades have come through perseverance and hard work.
So, in short, you have to be stubborn to to get something in life. And about the confidentiality, how your company works on it, because if somebody is watching this and they want to collaborate, this would be the first question in anyone's mind.
Sure. So we do have, our office is London based in the main. So we have something called GDPR rules, which is a government-led rules about data. So that's number one. So we are a GDPR compliant company. Also, we are ISO certified. So we had a very strict process that you have to go through to be ISO certified. It took us 12 to 18 months. So they check your systems, they check your documentation, they check your anti-bribery procedures, your money laundering procedures. So there's a whole list of things they check. So it took us a while to be compliant, but we are fully compliant with ISO 9001 on 3 different levels. And so that gives our clients the confidence to deal with us, knowing that their data is secure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presence. Before you go, as you have attended a conference which was not only about money or law, it was involved with marketing, internet, and health. So all the worldly professions you ever thought of, all are here. What are you, as a company, taking from? What kind of learning and networking you are taking from all of this, and will be implementing on in your organization?
So there's 2 things that we've done this week. One is that we've started a new branch, if you want to call it that, a new sort of vertical of work, and that's to do with medicine. So we're working now with a few distributors to distribute medicines from a couple of big suppliers, mostly insulin and 1 or 2 other drugs that we specialize in. And so from the health conference, I made a couple of good contacts there. And secondly, on the IT side, what we're doing more and more of these days is that we're basically partnering our finance solutions with IT solutions, because the 2 things go hand in hand. There's a lot of IT projects that are out there, and those IT projects normally around some kind of cost saving, and along with cost saving goes money. So those projects need money to be implemented. So we're also aligning ourselves now with quite a few different tech companies and being their preferred finance partner. So again, in the conference, I've met a couple of good companies who we're aligning ourselves with, both in the finance sector and in the healthcare sector.
Thank you so much. So that would be my last question. Tell us that what does the future of Elite Capital look like? What are the 2 goals, like you haven't achieved yet, but that is something on a priority list? And if anybody wants to collaborate from different government or different sectors, how can they reach out to you for advice or collaboration?
Sure. So for the next 2 or 3 years, what we recently did is a big visit to the NEOM project in Saudi Arabia. And we had a delegation from our Kuwait office. 4 people went over there, had very fruitful discussions with the various leaders of that project. And now we're going to sign an agreement with them, start with an NDA and some kind of cooperation agreement. So that'll be a huge project for us. It's the biggest project in the world anyway. And that will keep us busy for the next 3 years by itself, never mind everything else that we're doing. And we're adding team members all the time. We just added a new team member last month. So adding 2 new team members all the time because the workload increases, of course. So I see the company growing, Keeping the same sort of Middle East, North Africa is our let's say our sweet spot, just because that's where our offices happen to be. Kuwait, Dubai, London. So all of the Middle East, North Africa region is where we're already working, but I think we'll continue to work, and we'll have new people. And also the biggest thing is what I mentioned earlier, that we're now aligning ourselves with big technology companies in manufacturing, in IT, and becoming their finance partners. And that's going to be a massively growing thing for us in the next couple of years.
Thank you so much. Fingers crossed for that. And as he said, be stubborn. You need to be stubborn. If you have a dream and you think that it has a pure intention and it can really make a difference, be stubborn and make sure that seek for help. If you don't have help, governments like that, or sectors like that, or companies like that who are already accomplished, always seek out for help and look for the leadership or look for the organizations such as Elite Capital as an example to grow for yourself and to make a world better place, and be kind. This is Talia MK signing off.